This experiment is designed to advance
Hello everyone, we're back with a new game. It's called Cell to Singularity.
by participating. Shall we begin? Thank
That
you.
was the quick intro, and we get to meet Semblance as well. This is normal, this whole sequence. It's my PC glitching, surprisingly. Not surprisingly, it's a good PC. If you're on PC like me, you tap with the mouse or you tap with the spacebar. In my case, I'm tapping with the spacebar. Evolution begins. Amino acid. Now, if you're this early in the game like I am, you're gonna want to prioritize the moon, because that gives you 5 extra entropy per tap, as you can see here. Ignore the fact I already have water and stuff going on my planet. I had to wipe my save to start this series. It's not my main account, don't worry. I wanted to start this series because in the game's current state, where we got the reality reboot, we got the different things going on, I thought it would be helpful to everyone if I made a walkthrough series as well as combined it with a guide. Because then, as a long time player, I could share my knowledge with everyone. Incoming boost, yeah, you just want to. Essentially, this is your resource boost. Mobile users, you'll have ads to power that up. Since I'm on PC, there will be no such thing. If you want to go for this and you're on mobile, absolutely go for it. The ozone layer trait is perfect. Now, usually I don't play with sound. I usually do not play the game with sound, but for this walkthrough, I will be playing with a little bit of sound. And we will be doing not scientific, not custom, but normal resource numbers. Now, if anyone would like, we can play with scientific numbers or custom instead of normal. But in this case, I am for now going to start off with normal. You've collected some Darwinium, which we don't have a way of getting more from the shop at the moment. The shop is currently closed. If anyone is wondering, I am using my keyboard for this rather than using the mouse constantly, because for some reason, I can tap at the letters, which is not something I knew until today. You often want to collect those yellow things to get more mutagen. I mean, not mutagen, so you can get more entropy. No, mutagen is a different currency. We'll get to that another day. Alright, now that we have 22 tap power, I think we can go for the ozone layer. Ideally, if you're not playing on mobile, you want to just avoid going for such traits until you're a little higher up. That's enough. This will gain us another 30, so now we're tapping with 52 tap or per go. As we climb up the tree, we unlock new traits, evolutionary traits, and new life. Oh, we can go for this instead. This is a purely educational idle game, so we will be seeing a lot of different things. Ideally, we want to keep going in on the tapping, entropy tap, so we can get through the higher levels and get ourselves all the way to ozone layer. And then once we get to ozone layer, that'll be the last entropy tap trait for a little bit. And now we are at 272. Which, oh look, we have our little sidebar now. The dashboard. You want to make use of this. You want to make great use of this. The dashboard is your best friend. So I would go if you want to watch your numbers go up as you buy traits, 100%, this is where you would go. Just look at your dashboard for some much needed. Since this is the early game, there will be a lot of tapping. Or you could be, or you could hop off and wait for it to produce on its own. But if you have the tapping power like I do from the ozone layer and everything else combined, you should be good. Life leaves the ocean floor and the journey begins. Now, all the traits, evolutionary traits, have something unique to read. You can get out of this, but since it won't let me, time skip. And you get an extra 10 Darwinium. Now, I would say the modules are early game, they're worth it if you have the entropy. If you have the Darwinium, I would say just go for the tap and boost your primordial life. That just provides a nice little boost over here to what you can get from primordial. You could also be like me and get both. This will provide you a nice early game boost with your 20 Darwinium. Would I recommend it? Probably not, but if you have the Darwinium and if you want to spend it, by all means. But I would advise saving it. Now, we did go from 270 something to 299. So now the strongest one we have is Sponge, which we want to work on. Essentially, the guide here is, and I'm going to turn that down some more. Work on your strongest generator. In my case, it's the Sponge. That's primarily what you want to prioritize, especially if you're early game. Just make sure your resources are pooled into that. Now, if you see something like this, where it's jellyfish times 2, but then you see another one that's times 3, prioritize the one that's times 3. Or do what I did and prioritize the one that is your strongest, like I did there with the Sponge. Now, the next thing I'll be getting is the radial symmetry, because it is connected to the jellyfish. But then there's also nervous system, which leads to something else. Well, they both do, but go for the highest number. And this will enable you to make more entropy as time goes on. Now to address the thing in the room, the gate in the room. No pun intended. Glitch. This is not going to be important yet. This will come later. Even though you can already see a pop-up. Explore portal. The world is full of secrets yet to be explored. Ask questions and find answers to build the simulation through time-limited explore events. Research. thing I'm not gonna say because we don't have it yet. Atmosphere ends in 5 hours. We will be doing explore events on this account, but not atmosphere. We will not have access to atmosphere this time, so I'm gonna stay away from it for now, since we will not have access to it by the time we get to where we are. Here, this costed more, but also made it efficient. Achievements give 1 Darwinium each. I think there's some that give you more later, but don't quote me on that. I do believe there's special garden ones that do, but I will be showing a guide on getting unable to render. Okay, I got it. I will be showcasing a guide on some hidden achievements when the time comes. And now we can upgrade. Are you ready to upgrade your experiment's computing power? You'll start new and faster simulation. And this is where we begin. The reality check. This is completely new to anyone who was playing before last year. This is the reality engine, or as I like to refer it to, the reality reboot update. This is the beginning of it. Essentially, now what we have the ability to do is get metabits and throw them into upgrades. This is completely new to 2026. Well, technically it came out in 2025, I believe. But it's always receiving updates. Now, new discovery. This was unlocked at level 1. That's where we're at right now. As you can see, the simulation is going much faster. That is in part due to the module we got, the alpha, along with the beta. We can't access this because we're only level 1. I'm surprised the level system isn't unlocked yet. So all of these nodes are unlocked at certain levels. This one at 5, this one at 2. Yes, we can do the explore portal, surprisingly. But, so like I said before, we will not be touching that, not this time. Now, videos on this game may come a little more frequently than Valkyrie Connect and Neptunia. But that's also in part because this is a idle game and it will produce overnight. So at least in the early game, I will be checking in a little more often until we get to a stable point where I don't have to check in every so often. Oh, there's my level. Research level 2. You've been collecting enough entropy to increase your research level. Higher research levels unlock new research and grant chips. At least for the early days, I will be coming to this game a little more frequently. Eventually, and you will see why, I will start to slow down a little bit as we get into the late game. But this series will serve as a guide and a walkthrough. Oh, level 2, we unlocked Daily Mutation, which is just your login system. Now, generally, when you get this research level, for now, you just want to throw it all at the entropy boost. Now, we could go and get the Darwinium synthesizer, but I'm gonna say let's save that for later. You could get entropy tap to make the simulation faster when you're coming up, but getting it is not exactly needed. If you can get through the early levels fast, the early parts fast enough, then you won't need it in long term. Ooh, more entropy tap. After a while, the tap will get to a point where you don't need it just because it produces so little. But until that point, it is recommended that you stick with it. Although we are starting to hit that ceiling with it, with the tap, where it won't help as much. I would say prioritize generation, like entropy generation, over tap, at least for now. Hyper focus on stuff like primordial power when we reboot, because that will be important to you later. Flatworm. This thing's got an upgrade at level 3. Now, check the gardens for your yellow little thingy. That'll upgrade. That'll get you some upgrades. Or in my case, get me a tetrapod. A lot of the early game traits will, like this part of the tree will just contain entropy tap upgrades, so definitely worth going for in the long run. There is a reality node in here that you could go for, but I believe it'll also come up later in the main evolution tree. Usually if that happens and it makes you spend Arwinium, I would say don't go for it and wait. But in this case, I would like to get some grades. Yeah, it's gonna stay there for a while. Well, I would say at least get this open so we can get the Explore tab. Oh, and 5 lodges. So this gives us the Explore tab. You can get skins for your planet, your cosmetics, nanobots, which we do not have yet. The Pi icon, 3.314, that's clever. And other things, augments too, but that comes later. Getting a little happy there. Upcoming Explore events, Life After Apocalypse. We're gonna do that one. Now there's upcoming content. There's the upcoming content tab, which that should be updated in the coming days, hopefully. And then there's the news tab, which, if you have not, go claim your news, Darwiniums. They did make up for the Darwinium I used on those cubes. As you can see here, the different glitches unlock with research level, which I am gonna wait a few levels before I reset. Now, in terms of when you should reset your simulation, wait until you have a good bit of metabits and a later currency. Do not reset immediately or right away. It's better to wait. I'm just now hearing all the noises that these different creatures make. In the game, obviously. I know what they sound like in the real world. I just didn't know what they sounded like in game. But yeah, now we have a new garden. Welcome to the land garden. This is when we start to unlock secret achievements, which already I'm going to show one off because this is the first one that pops into my head. If you go over here to this island from the forest area, you get a statue. That's one of the many hidden achievements that this garden has. The others I will get over time, and some I will get after a while. Nanobot Historian. I should not have this on this account, since I went and deleted my progress, but I guess it counts this device as having been around before the Nanobot update, so I got the achievement. Right, so ideally, we want to reset when there is a good bit of meta bits. I'm gonna do something I should not be doing and use an entropy burst. And got level 3. There we go. Yeah, these little guys now. Now, the next thing we want to do is just mammal brain. And go for primate. Oh, and then we get this thing. Research complete. I don't know why it's saying complete. We haven't done it yet. We ain't even started yet. Same policy as last time. Invest that research chip into entropy. And then we want to go to this glitch on Flatworm. And what I like to do is I like to watch what the value is before. In this case, 3.29 million. And then we got 3 layer skin, which provides it 67% more efficient, which now the flatworm is my most producing generator, putting the ocean garden on top. Of course, I got the Darwinium to use. Just do not do what I'm doing with my Darwinium. I'm just like spending it left and right on stuff like that. And we want to get mammals back on top. Now, I would say reboot before getting ape, unless you are very confident and you want to wait a day or two. So you have enough time to settle in with the different species and whatnot. And now the mammals are back to being my most my biggest producers. I believe you can check you can check the silhouette to see what they produce. Even if you do not have them unlocked yet, which might give you a decent idea of what to expect with them. Tooth growth. Mammal. Putting this thing at 1.27 billion. I'm sorry, the sound effects still throw me off. Right, placenta, now that's what we want to go for. We essentially just want to sit here and grow mammal as best as we can. Since getting the Gliras is going to do absolutely nothing for us at the moment. We could get 700 billion, but something tells me I'm going to get another Darwinium pop. Oh, shit, cover. So that was a golden asteroid. Well, not golden, but it was an asteroid. Usually they only appear on this map, the little Earth map, but for some reason it was over here in the land garden. Now we could do an entropy burst or we could do a time flux. My vote is neither. As much as getting this ape would be nice. Oh, screw it, we get plenty. Don't worry, I am not gonna make this a habit. A reoccurring habit. I'm gonna slow down on my spending of such things. 8. And now with the unlock of apes, there is a secret achievement. Boom. You essentially just tap on an ape 4 times and it will dab. That's literally it. It's not that secretive an achievement, but you kind of accidentally discover it if you're not looking. But if you're just kind of in the garden messing around, if you are, well, you're gonna discover it sooner or later. So there's so far 2 secret achievements out of the way. There are some others that I do know off the top of my head, which bioluminescence, that's gonna put our jellyfish friends over here up to 1 billion. Mysterious rock. Oh, I'm gonna save this. There's a special reason why I want to save the mysterious rock. Because that's gonna play into what's on this side of the tree. There's a good bit of stuff on this side of the tree. But the mysterious rock here plays into it. And at that point, we will not be exploring it. Not until next time. I do like to see the before and after values of most generators. So I apologize if going back and forth between the screens gets a little annoying at times. Alright, we are at the point where we're gonna want to reboot in a few minutes. I would advise, strongly advise, we get at least to 51 metabits before we reboot. You will see why. Right? 51 metabits. Let us go. 500 life forms exactly. Alright, I wasn't even trying. There is no special purpose behind how many life forms you've archived, but it is nice to see. Alright, so now we have. That's why I saved 51, because I knew this was coming. These things are also your best friends, and so are these. I would say go in on getting your Poseidon protocol, especially if your ocean generators are your money makers. Go for also for the metabit doubler at this point in the game. You can kind of ignore the Darwinium synthesizer for right now, which is what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna touch it for a while. Instead, my next goal is going to be the metabit doubler and the Poseidon protocol. If you don't see the effects right away, that is perfectly fine. It does take a while for them to kick in. But essentially, what that did, what that metabit, that entropy tripler, it just made the entropy efficiency higher, thus providing us a much smoother return to where we were at once. Uh, Now we can get Darwinium artifacts here, like the amoeba, which would give us a nice little boost to entropy production. But I'm gonna say skip it. Ignore these Darwinium artifacts. unless you have a way you can afford to get numerous. The only ones I would say collect are the logic prizes. Those are the ones that hold the best value to you early game and late game too. Is the logic prizes. Why? Because you can get 50 logits per event, which over time, those 50 logits will turn into some good rewards for your collection. So definitely invest in doing the events. You get the badges, you get everything. And as you can see, because of our entropy tripler, we are back up to mammal already. It did not take us long to get here like it did before. Now, as usual, we want to look for where we can get the mostest, and put our entropy into it. Now, I would say prioritize these power nodes, like the life efficiency, but ultimately, if you're going for as least amount of reboots possible, like I'm gonna go, if you want to go for the least amount, try and get one of these. Like, get 600 for the metabit doubler, and then an extra 20 for Poseidon Protocol. If you're a very patient person this early into the game, then waiting for your reboots is good for you. Because as you get later into the game, they will get more pricey. So it's better to establish a habit of waiting early rather than later. In my case, I might reboot a little early to get a booster or two, but I should be good for the foreseeable future. And there's no reason for me to get more of these, just because, it doesn't matter that much, but I kind of want to populate the gardens a little bit, so they actually look like they're populated. Sponge. What are you looking at that? Oh, that's. And as usual, we want to make our way back here again. Oh, Glirez should not have many changes compared to last time, except for the little boost of like 1 billion per second. Scaled epidermis, you're probably not going to need, because you can't access this part of the tree yet. But I just like to get all the traits. And now we're making a bunch of metabits. As the gardens have a wider landscape, it's going to be harder to find those golden things. So I would advise against trying to look for them on purpose. And just let them come to you, because they will come to you no matter where you are on the tree. And it's going to boost jellyfish to where we want them to be. 1.92 million up to 11 billion. Well, 7 billion, but I just threw extra numbers at it. So now with that, our ocean generators are surpassing mainland. This would be a decent time to get a Poseidon protocol or two, but the big goal here is the metabit doubler. And if you want, you could get the entropy tap at this stage. It's not going to matter too much. Really, in the end, what matters is the Poseidon protocol. This is decent to have because it gives your entropy efficiency a little bit of a boost, but they're better in higher quantity than lower. It's better to just have them in higher quantities. And for quite some time, the jellyfish will not be receiving any more traits. Module. No modules are ready to be activated. Now, if we want to, we could use these upgrades to boost our production a little bit. 35.13. I'll only be doing these to showcase if the upgrades are truly worth going for or not. I believe the Metabit one does not matter. Let's see, because it is currently capped at 1. Nope, still 1. Alright, so in terms of upgrade, Metabit production here, not worth it. This thing, eh. Only do primordial if your primordial generators are even working. Like if they're making anything sufficient enough to warrant getting a upgrade for that. Generally, I'd say if you're gonna spend your Darwinium, do it on Alpha and Beta, and then just ignore the upgrade page. 5.80 right now. This gives a little bit of a boost to my tap, so maybe go for the tap upgrade. Ultimately, you don't need it. Your tap will do just fine without it, I say as I get another one. Alright, Glirez is now my strongest generator. Glirez, next thing is 50. Ideally, you just want to keep focusing on your Darwin. I mean, not your Darwin, on your thing. Your entropy. I believe there's not another tap upgrade for quite a little bit. It's probably up here somewhere. But that's if memory serves me correctly. Now there are active codes, which if you want to put codes in, use your redeem code thing over there. I personally will be entering codes because I do have them, and I have not used them yet. It is recommended get codes if you can, which this is level 6, alright. Redeem code. Yep, Darwin is one of them. I don't know if they need to be in all caps, but I'm writing them in all caps anyway. I'm just doing the big ones because the rest of them are not that big. There is one associated with an achievement, but I'm not gonna use that one. Shit. Choo choo, it's 5 whole Darwinium. Alright, so for those who did not see, I used the code Starwin, Playmore, Galelo, and Choo Choo. And now we have 82 Darwinium to use as we please. As I get another upgrade. Never mind. We have extra power, which will grant us 50 billion per tap. Is it good? Yes. Will I be going for it? Abso-freaking-lutely. Doesn't do much in the way of production, but now we can just be a tapping mad scientist with our newfound powers. But with that, it is getting late, so I hope you all enjoyed the first part of my new series, Cell to Singularity. This one will have more frequent uploads, at least twice a week, if
Single.
anything, because I do want to at least check in semi-regularly, so that way my entropy doesn't just sit there and collect dust. So for now, I hope everyone enjoyed the first episode, and I shall be back with more cells later sometime this week.